Andrew Wyndham.
Colin O'Donnell.
Andrew Ricken.
Kaylee Pineda.
Okay. We'll be talking about corals. So for introduction to corals, they are a basal animal with polyps that provide many ecosystem services. In many species of hard temporal corals, the polyps contain zooxanthellae, a photosynthetic symbiont that provides food directly for the coral for survival. These corals have a hard exoskeleton that is made of calcium carbonate. For their phylogeny, you can see here, they are the phylum Cnidaria, their class is Anthozoa, subclass Hexacoralia and Octocoralia, order Sclerotinia, which are hard corals, and soft corals.
So corals are most likely found, reef-building corals are most typically found in temperate tropical regions. They prefer warmer water. They're usually found along coastlines. So, of course, there's the coral triangle in the Indo-Pacific. There's reefs all along the Bahamas and the Florida Keys as well. Africa has some reefs along the eastern coast as well. The largest known reef, probably everyone knows, is the Great Barrier Reef. It spans 1,553 miles. It's off the eastern coast of Australia, in Queensland. One of the second largest barrier reefs is the Mesoamerican Reef. That's off of Belize and near Guatemala and Honduras, and that spans 585 miles. And then the one that's closest to us, that is a barrier reef, is the Florida one, like I've said. That spans 200 miles, and it goes from the top of like Florida near Miami down to the Dry Tortugas National State Park. A lot of the species around here, you won't really find them in the waters around here, like if you were going to go swim in the beach, but the known reef outside or within Texas is the Texas Flower Gardens, and some of the species you could find there are Acropora species, so elkhorn coral, staghorn coral. You could also find multiple cup coral, boulder corals, star corals. Basically a large laundry list of different corals that you could find that make up the reef system, as well as there's a lot of unknown corals that have yet to be identified as well.
All right, so for coral life history, you start off with the reproduction and you have a large broadcast spawning. At that point, during their development, they start to develop as larvae before they actually settle down. Most of their time is actually spent finding suitable areas before they can settle on a hard substrate, and they use chemical signals to recognize that. Then they have to go through polyp formation and recruit the zooxanthellae, and then the colony ages depends based on each individual species, but they can range like very vastly from like 3.5 to over 1,000 years. As far as the ecological importance, they're nursery for many of the important fishes, at least commercially. And they're also very much a habitat for all the keystone species and any species in general that participate in important processes in the ecosystem. And they also provide protection from very large waves as they break the waves. And then they're also important for habitat in the ecosystems, such as seagrass and mangroves.
Relevance to humans are such as medical, being used for bone grafts to help the actual regrowth of bones and formations. It's one of the best suited compared to other graphs that have been used. And ecological importance is specific with the commercially important fish. It provides that nursery for them, as well as tourism. It's, provides a vast amount of money for not only the U.S. but also everywhere else. Provides a lot of inflow to the countries that have the Great Barrier Reefs around them. And they also provide protection from waves and strong currents, which makes for a more suitable habitat for mangrove and seagrass growth, which helps for carbon sequestration and prevention of shore erosion, which is particularly important at this point. Current threats, CO2 increased atmospheric CO2 provides a twofold. It has increased ocean acidification as well as climate change, which is causing warming of waters, which causes the loss of...
Susan.
provides the inability to provide for the calcium to build themselves, as well as the loss of zooxanthellae. And then another one is the destructive fishing habits, such as dynamite and cyanide for fishing, and overfishing causes a problem with algae, which goes into the next one of nutrient runoff, which provides increased algae, causes it harder to compete and grow. So coral can't really grow anymore.
Another current threat to them as well is disease. So there's multiple diseases out there, like white syndrome as well as black band disease. Even right now, currently on the Florida Reef, there is an unknown disease that no one is really sure what it is, a virus, a bacteria. No one's really sure about that, but disease and potentially created by humans is another current threat.
And then here are our references. That's it.